Hello friends, welcome back you all to another video. My name is Abhishek, you are watching BCoder. So this is the second video of our Amazon clone which we are creating by using MongoDB, Express.js, React and Node.js. So we are creating a full stack application. If you are new to this video, then I will provide the link of the previous video and the playlist in the I button. And today we are going to build the login page and the backend of the login page. In last video we have created the register page UI design, like the page front end design of register page and the backend of the register page. And in this video we will create the login page and the backend of the login page. So here what I will do, I will open the terminal and simply I will open this Amazon 2.0 folder here. So for that I will write cd desktop Amazon 2. Here you can see cd desktop Amazon 2, and in this one two folders we have created in last video. One is the backend for our backend codes and front end for our React code. So first I will move to the front end folder and I will write simply npm start. So our code will start in the browser, and in the other tab I will go to the server folder which is inside the Amazon 2 only. So I will go to this backend folder, actually it is backend, and inside that also I will write npm start so that our server will start, so that we can start working. Now you can see our front end and backend is started, and in the browser if you will see that nothing is displaying because for the home page we have still not created anything, but we have created the register page. So I will write register. So this one we have created in the last video. Now we will create the login form. So basically the login form is basically very similar to the register page only. There we have only two data like email and password, and in the register if you will see we have name, mobile, email and password. So simply if I will show you the demo one, like that another project I have created, just basic front end design is only in this one. So here this is the register page and one button is there in the below, already have account. So when I will click on this one, then login page will be open, and from the here also one button is there to create Amazon account. If like the user will suddenly know that I don't have the account, so I will create a new account, so he will simply click this button. So that thing I will add here, and all the backend logic is written for the register page. So if I will show you the database in the MongoDB Compass, as we have seen these things in last video only, but just for revision I am displaying you. So this much data we have entered. Suppose I will delete these records from here. Okay, now in the user node record is present. I will go to the register form. I will create a BCoder. In the name I am giving BCoder. In the mobile number, let's give some mobile number and email and password, and then I will click on register. Now you can see in the login page I am redirecting. Just simply I have written the logic, but we will fix these things. Now if I will go to the database, and here you can see the record is inserted. So all these things is covered in the last video, so you can watch how we have done this thing. Now we are redirected to login page. As the user will register to your website like in the Amazon clone, then we will provide them the login page automatically. So here simply in the login page I am displaying the text. These things we have done in last video only. Now we will create the UI for the login page. So I will go to the VS Code here. So this is the register page, all the logics you can see. So simply for the login page also everything is same. So I will copy whole register like whatever the code is there in the register page, that I will copy, and in the login page see only one text I am displaying. So I will copy and paste all the codes. Some code we need to change here. So the component name, the function name I will change to login, and here we will export the login. Inside this one register user function is there. So I will see like 2 times I have used. So instead of register user I will give the name here login user, and I will change it. So 2 times. This is the function that is using the backend of register. Like here you can see localhost 8000 register API is there which we have created in the backend thing, and we are passing the form data. So inside the form data we have like name, email, mobile and password. So this was for the register page, but in login page we don't need the name field and mobile field, only the email and password will be there. And from the UI also we need to remove this name field and the mobile field. Here you can see I will remove this thing, and instead of register I will give login, and instead of this button I will give here also login. So now you can see this is the design now, but our backend code we have to write, because register API we cannot use for the login. We need to create a separate API for the login. Before doing that, let's add one extra button here. So in the register page, first I will go, and here I will copy this register button, and after the bordered class we have given yesterday, that is this login, but you can see this container which is having the border. So after that I need that thing, so that class is this one, bordered p3 rounded. So after that I will add this button, and I will remove this on click, means I will write different thing inside the on click, and I will change this thing to already have an account. I will cut this thing and I will give a div, and inside that div I will give this button, and in this div I will give some padding like p3 like that. Inside the on click I will remove this register user, because here only simply when they will click on this already have account, then they will redirect to the login page. So simply I will write navigate function which we have imported yesterday, like use navigate hook, and we have created a variable navigate. So this navigate we will use. So here you can see navigate to login already we have done here. Simply I will copy this one, and like this we will paste, and let's see. I will move to the register page now. From here in the URL I will type register, and here you can see already have account button is coming. I will change the color, because here I have used BTN warning, so I will make it BTN secondary, so it will give a gray color. And here you can see now I will click on this already have account, then login page is opened, and the same thing, this div I will copy, this one I will copy from register page, and I will paste the same thing in the login page also. Here we will change the inside the navigate login is there, we will change it to register, so that in the login page when we will click, then it will redirect us to register page, and from here it will redirect us to login page. And the text we will change here like don't have an account, like that. And here you can see this thing is working properly. So now let's go to the database, and I will delete this record. Again in the database we don't have any record. I will go to the browser, and first I will create a user, like I will register a user. Again I will give bcoder here, mobile number, some random numbers you can give, because now validation I have not given, so anything you can enter. And in the password I will give the password, and I will click the register button. Now you can see the user is registered, and it is redirected to login page as our logic is there. And here you can see the user is registered only. Now we need to create the backend of the login, and little bit in the UI also we need to correct some we need to do some changes. So that we will do. First of all, now we will write the backend code here. So I will close all these front-end files so that it will not make any confusion. Now this is the front-end folder, I will close this one, and this is the backend folder. Inside that backend folder, in the last video we have created these things, models, routers and index.js file. So this all we have done. Now as you remember that user.js was the file where we were creating the APIs. So here you can see like router.post register API, that register API which we are using is created here, and this is the logic simply I have written. So in this file only I will create another router, like the API for the login. So I will write router dot post, and post is the method like which we will use for our login, and we will provide the name of the API. So I need like name, it is up to you whatever name you want to give for the API. So login I will give, and then we need to give a arrow function here. Inside this arrow function, whatever the logic we will write for the login, that will be present. This arrow function will be an asynchronous function, so I will write async before this function, and then I will just return simply right now to check whether this API is working or not. So I will write return response dot JSON, and inside this message, like inside the JSON, I will pass an object, and inside that I will give a keyword message and value like login okay, just for testing that it is working or not. And in this function we need to pass two parameters, one is request and other is response. So now let's check our API in Insomnia. Like it is a software that I have told you to download in last video. So this is Insomnia website where we have created our project Amazon 2, and inside that collections is their API. I will click on this one, and here you can see this is the register API which we were testing in last video. Now I will create another, I will duplicate this like this register API is there. I will click on this drop down and I will duplicate this one, and I will change this name to login, and I will click on create, and here you can see this login API is created. Now I need to change this register here in the URL to login, and you need to select the proper like method which you are using. Like now we don't need to pass these things right now. I will click on send, and here you can see login okay, which we have written just now in VS Code. In that file it is coming, so it means our API is working. Now in this API, like this API we will use in the front end side. So in the front end we can send the data like this. So in the login one we just need to send the email and password, and like this we will send. So this time we are not utilizing this data, just simply I am sending, and this return message is coming because statically we are just sending this login okay message from there. But like this we will send the email and password. So this Insomnia or like Postman is there for testing the APIs whether it is correct or not. Now let's see if I am sending, like suppose this data is coming from the front end. So now I want to access this data in our backend code. So how we can do? So simply in the last thing you have seen that in the request.body that thing will come, whatever you will send from the API from the front end side. I will write a const, and in that one I will give a object, I will destructure a object, and I will write email and password. So email and password, and there I will write simply request dot body. So request is basically that thing that is coming from your front end or like Insomnia, whatever the data you are passing, and response is from the backend side what you will pass in the front end, that is called the response, and this is the request. So in the request email and password is coming, so I will just write email and password, and in the response I will just for now I will send this data, so that in here we can check that whether we are receiving this email and password or not. And I will click on send, and here you can see whatever the email I have written that is passing correctly here, means we are receiving the data. And if I will change the name bcoder and I will click on send, then here you can see the email is changed now. So whatever the data we are passing, that we are receiving. So it means in the front end also when we will integrate like that only data we will pass. So in the backend we can access it, but we don't need to return this email and password. Just for testing I have shown you. Now what we will do, we will create another variable like user, and here we will write await and user model. So as you can see in the register one, user model is there that we have created in model file, user model, this one. So from here we will already it is imported here. So in the user model we will write user model dot find one, means there will be multiple of users. So in that one we will search one record, and for that we will pass email, because email will be unique. Each user will have their unique email ID. So by the email ID we can search a unique user in the user record, like from the user table. So email I am passing. Now I will write a logic that if user is present, then the return I will give here. If user is present, then the return will be different, and if user is not present, means by this email no user is registered, so I will simply like display a message that the else part is very easy. Like if user is not there, simply I will write user does not exist. User does not exist. Simply this message we will display. And if user is present, then we need to do some extra logics. So first of all, we need to check inside this if condition also we will write one more if condition, and in this one and else part will be also there, and depending upon that we will write our logic. So if user is present, then we will check if user dot password, means this user data is having password in the backend. If you'll see, this password variable is there, so that is in user, like all this object is stored like in the user, like name, mobile, email, password, anything you can access, because it is coming from the user model, means from the database. So user dot password if equals to password which we are sending from the front end side or from that application, that Insomnia. So we will check if this both password will match, then we will return. I will copy this return and I will paste it here, and simply in the message we will display logged in, like logged in successfully, and we will send, if this thing is correct, then we will send a data variable, and inside that we will send the whole user data. So even we don't have to send the password. So but for now, for simplicity, I am sending whole user data in the front end. If the login credential is correct, then login message will be there, logged in successfully, and in the data this whole thing we will pass, so that we can use it in the front end side to display the name in corner and all things like that. And if this password is not correct, then we will display a message, and we will not send any data in the front end, just simply we will display incorrect password. Okay, like this. So our API is almost completed. Now let's check it, and if it will work fine, then we will integrate it inside the our front end. So this is the login and email password we are passing. Just click on send and let's see what it will send. The message logged in successfully, and in the data, like you can see, name, bcoder, mobile number, email and password is already, like it is coming in the response. So this data we will receive in the front end side. And let's see if I will give a different email ID, suppose ABC, and then what the response will come. Now you can see the incorrect, like different email ID I am giving, and that is not present in the database, then it is giving me user does not exist. And let's check the third condition, that if email is correct, but if I will give wrong password, that will be different from the email from the database. Like here 1 2 3 4 5 6 is there, and here I am giving a different value, and I will click on send, and here you can see incorrect password it is displaying, means our API, login API is working fine. Like for the incorrect password, user does not exist, and like all three condition is working fine. Now we'll close this backend folder. Now I don't have anything to do inside that. Now in the front end side, I will go to the pages, and inside the login.js, in the login page, if you will see that login user, this is the method which we are calling on click of that login button. And here the API which we are calling is register now, because we have copied this thing from register. So I will change this one to login. So simply we need to replace this register to login, because the name of the login API is login only, and this thing should be present http localhost 8000, because our backend is running on the port number 8000. And here form data is the variable in which we are storing whatever we are typing in the front end. That will be stored email and password inside this one, and it is passing like this. In the front end, Axios library is there, and post method, this is the API name and the data, and in dot then like response is coming, and simply I am consoling it. And I will remove this navigate because it was present inside the register function. Here we will do different logics. So let's go to the front end side here, and I will click on network tab, and let's type the email and password 123456. So this time I am giving the correct one, and I will click on login. So let's see what it is coming. Here you can see the message it is displaying logged in successfully, and the data of the user is received in the response. Now if I will give wrong password from the front end, then what it will give? Incorrect password. Like I have changed the password, like if you will see, it is giving me incorrect password and no data is coming, like no record is there, only a message is coming, incorrect password. And if I will give a different email only, like bcoder123, and click on this one login, then user does not exist, because by this email no user is there. So everything is working fine. Now what we need to do, now we will do some changes in the backend, because I will go to the router and users, and here I will pass some status in the return function, like in the response. In the JSON object we will pass some status code, so that by that number we can like check that if this API, like if user password is correct or incorrect, like that, so that we can do from the status. So if in everyone, like in everything, if user does not exist, in that one I will pass status 401, and in password incorrect also I will pass status 401, and in the correct one, like where the condition is okay, like user password and password is correct, there I will send status 200 means okay, like in the programming language, in the networking, like 200 status means okay. So that from the front end, now I will go to the front end, and here if you will see, we are just simply consoling the data what is coming from the response. So I will go to the browser and I will click on the console. So here you can see the message is coming, like message object, and when I have provided the correct email ID, then message is also there, and one data variable is also coming from API. Now let's do one thing again. I will provide the correct email and password, and let's see. So here you can see login data and status code is coming. So by this status code we can write our further logics. And if I will provide the wrong email, like wrong password, then incorrect password is the message it is coming, but in the status 401 it is coming now. So here in the front end side we need this status code. So simply I will copy this thing, I will remove the console, and I will just check if response.data.status okay, status is equals to 200, then we will do something else. We will write window.alert, and whatever the response dot data dot message will be there, so it will just console it, it will alert it. So let's check if this time the credential is correct, bcoder and password is correct. So here it is telling me incorrect password, so I will type the password 123456, and I will click on login. So again it is telling me incorrect password only. This time the password is correct, and we have not written anything inside if condition, so nothing is happening. But if I will give the wrong password, see I am typing any random number, random password, and I will click on this one. Then one pop-up is coming, incorrect password. And if I will change the email ID and I will click on login, then it is displaying user does not exist, so that user can understand what is happening. And in the if condition, what we will write, if the login thing is correct, then we need to create a page that is our product page, or we can just give it the name home.js, like home page. So we will create the home page right now. So in the home.js, I will write a simple function. So the design of the home page we will create in the next video, but for now just I'm creating a component with the name home, and I will go to the app.js first of all, and here I will create a route, and simply I will give /, means for the home page, like by default on / we can display the home, like by default home page. And I will click save, and if I will show you in my other project, so our home page will look something like this. In this one we have I have shown you yesterday. So this is our home page of Amazon, and this thing we will design in our next video. But for now, just you can see our home component is there, and design we will do later in another video. But for now, logic we will write here, that when the password and email will correct, then we will navigate the user to directly to the home page. So for that, simply we need to write navigate, which we have created this function, and in that one we will pass the /. If this email and password is correct, then only this thing will happen, otherwise it will not happen. We will get the alert. So here you can see this time email and password is correct, then we are getting the alert. And suppose I will give the correct one, and I will click login, and here you can see the home page, we are redirected to the home page. And simply, and the home page also we can we need to write the logics like for logout and all things. So for that same logic we will use this navigate function, and we will pass in the home page, we will pass the path here like login, like this. So these things we will do in our next video, but for today there is a lot of things we need to do. So if I am refreshing this page, and suppose I am going to register right now, suppose I have opened this website first time, so I have opened this thing, but if I will directly write this thing home page, so I can see the home page without creating the account and without logging into the account. So we need to prevent this thing. So these are the main thing in the full stack application. So how we can do this thing? So we will do it by storing our variable inside the Redux. So now we will integrate the Redux in our project. So for that I will open the Redux website. So there is a website, so this is the website Redux Toolkit. I will open this one, and I will click on get started, and then maybe in tutorials it is present. Quick start, link I will provide in the description. So here you can see these are the steps to install the React in like Redux in the React project. So I will copy this thing, and I will go to the terminal, and in the front end we need to run this command. So simply I will go here, I will open this front end tab. Make sure that you install that Redux in the front end file only, not in backend or any other folder. So now you can see I am inside the desktop Amazon 2 front end, and there I will paste this code and press enter, and you wait for a while, it will install. After that there is a TypeScript and JavaScript option. So we generally write in JavaScript, so I will click here on JavaScript, and here you can see it is telling me we need to create a store.js file. So inside a app folder we need to create a store.js, and in that we need to copy and paste this code. So simply I will go to our VS Code, and here inside the src I will create another folder by the name of app, and inside that I will create one store.js file, and I will copy this code also, and I will paste it inside the store.js. So step number 1 is completed. Now we need to go to the index.js. So already we know we have a main index.js file in our React app. So in that one we need to import these two things, like store from which store file we have created just now inside app and store, and a provider from React Redux library. So let's see our Redux is installed. Yeah, it is installed. Now we will go to our index file. I will just paste these two things, and I will wrap our application again. Just I will do this thing, and inside browser router I will do, and in that one you need to pass here. If you will see in the provider, we are passing the store which we have imported like this. So I will copy and paste this thing. So if you need a separate video for the basics of Redux and Redux toolkit, then you can comment down below. I will create a separate video where we will discuss the basics of Redux and all things, how we can implement. Now let's see the next step. So here it is telling us in src create a feature folder, and there, so from here just I will create inside the app only, I will create a new folder by the name of features. Name you can give anything, it is up to you, but just for a convention we use this thing. Inside that one we need to create slices. So again the name is up to you, but for naming convention we can use slice, like after whatever the thing you give, like product slice, user slice, cart slice, like that. So for this time we are creating for whatever the data is coming from the API. When we will log in, then we are sending a data of the user. If credential is correct, then we will store it inside the Redux. So just we need to create a file user.slice and js. So in this file we need to copy and paste this code which is given here. So simply I will paste it, and we need to modify few things, like in the value, let it be value, or maybe you can keep it null, because initially your user, or you can give it as let's keep it value only. So initially our value is null for the user. We need to change few things. So here the name of the function is counter slice, so we will, instead of counter, we will make it user slice. So wherever counter slice is there, we will make it user. Okay, wherever counter slice is there, we need to replace it. In the name we will replace it like user. So this is the variable name, like how we will access in frontend, like user.value, like that. So I will show you just in a moment. And this is the reducer. So right now in the reducer I don't want anything. In further when we will implement something, then I will show you what is the use of reducer. For now just I will make it empty, and I don't want to write this sentence, and user slice is there. Now what we need to do, now the next step, if you will scroll down here, so it is telling we need to import the thing in store.js file, and we need to pass it like this inside the store.js file. So I will go to the store.js file and I will import it like this. So we need to give like user reducer, and in the features if you'll see, we need to change the path. We need to give correct path. From user slice we are exporting user reducer, and in this reducer object we need to write user and semicolon and user reducer, this one. So like this we are importing our user slice from here. Like here you can see we are exporting user slice dot reducer, and the same thing we are importing, like here we are using the reducer from user slice. Now our Redux is completed. Now we will go to the login page first of all, or else what I can do, in the app.js only I will check for the user. If user is present, then we will display the home page, otherwise directly it will go to the login and this page. So for that the variable which we have created in the user slice, so how we will access in the app.js. So for that we need to create a variable const, and suppose I'm creating a name user, and we need to import a hook from the Redux, like use selector React Redux, like this. And in this function we will pass a arrow function. So in the arrow function, suppose I am giving a parameter like state and equals to arrow function, and in that one state dot, like the name of the slice we have given user and dot value. So in the app.js we will use state dot user dot value. So whatever the value it is initially we will see, and here I will import use effect from React, and I will console and show you that console.log, and I will console user initially. So now I will go to our project, and in this one, so here if you see I am reloading the page, then what I am getting user null. So user null, and if I will change in the user slice, if I will write instead of null, if I will set the value like Abhi, and I will show you here, then this time you can see in the user the value I am getting is Abhi. Like that we access the values of Redux in our React application. Now we need to do some sort of logic we need to write. So here if user is equals to null, then we need to navigate to like login or login page, else nothing will happen. So for that again we need to create a variable that is navigate, and we need to use something called use navigate from React Router DOM, and we will navigate to simply our login page if user is null. Now let's go to our application and reload it. So it is not working right now. Okay, we need to write login here. We have given forward slash. Now you can see automatically it is coming to the login page because my user is null right now. Again if I will try to go to the home page, then it will come to the login page automatically. But for a while, like if you will see, for a second I am being able to see the home page, but that should also not happen. So for that what I will do, in this one, in the routes, we will set a condition that, or simply you can write user, if user is equals to null, then we will display this two pages, or even a registered page we don't need to display, we need to display login page. From there the user will see that if he have account then he will log in, and if he don't have account then he can go to the register page. And else if user is not null, then we will redirect to the home page. And now if you will see, if I will go to the browser and if I will try to go to the home page directly, then for a second also that home text is not displaying, because we have given the condition that this page will not load if the user is null. Now in this slice, if I will make this user any other value, and if I will go to the page, so this time if user is not null, then you can see login path is, our path is login, but we are not being able to see the form because we need to write again in the app.js, we need to write one more condition in the else part. If we have checked for the condition, if user is null, then it will redirect us to the login page, and if user is present, then it will login, like it will redirect us to the home page like this. If you see, now we are redirected to the home page, and if I will try to go to the login page without doing sign out, then every time it will open the home page only, and the URL will also get automatically changed. And for the logout, like here we will provide the specific button, so he will click and the that value of the slice what we have here, it will change, and according to that our logic will work. So initially it will be like this, and here you can see if that data is null, then we are being able to see the things. Now what we will do, we will set the user. So I will go to the login page, and here we are in this if condition, like when we will click on this login user, then it will call the login API and check if status is 200, means if the password and email is correct, then it is navigating to the home page directly. But this thing we will do, but and one more thing we need to do, we need to set the this variable, like in the Redux which we have created, this user value is null, that we need to change. So in the reducer, if you will see, this is in the reducer, like function will be there. So I will create a function set user like this, and I need to give a arrow function here, and in this one, like, and then what we need to do, like, we will set the here I will write state dot value equals to, because this state is this one, in the initial state, the whatever the data you have, that thing, and inside that, like, value we have given. So state dot value equals to, and this action is the thing that is coming from your front end, like from the Redux app. So in the action we will write, not here, like it will be action, and here we can write action dot payload. So whatever the value will pass from the React application, that now it will set to the this value equals to, like this time null it is, then it will change, and we need to export this function set user, like in this line. So just set user, we have one reducer, so one reducer we are exporting, and in the login page we need to import that set user. So two things we need to import. I will just create a variable, and I will give a name dispatch. So dispatch is a hook which is exported from the React Redux. So I will use a dispatch, like here you can see use, like in the login page that use selector was there, and in the same way, like dispatch is there. So dispatch, this variable, like const dispatch I have given. So this variable you can give the name up to you, but for the naming convention, like it should be similar, then it is okay. Inside this dispatch we need to call that set user, like set user method, like reducer which we have created. So if you will see, we need to import this also, set user, because it is not defined in this login page, it is defined in user slice. So from like this we need to import / app features and user slice, like that. Reducer means basically it is a function. So here I will pass a object, and in that object, like we can pass value equals to, like if the login credential is correct, so from the backend we are sending a value, like value data. So data dot data we need to write, like response dot data. So this will become the value. Now we need, if I will change this thing, like I will comment this navigate function, and only I am setting the value of set user in the Redux, and let's see if it works or not. So right now I will console, I will clear this thing, I will clear the network tab also, I will give the correct email and password, and I will click login. Then you can see now data is there in the console, nothing is displaying, no error, and it should display the home page. But if I'll write like this, okay, our logic is breaking somewhere. So in app.js, so we need to pass this user in this square bracket. So whenever this user variable will change, then this use effect will execute. Now again I will refresh, and here you can see now the login page is displaying. Again I will try to give the correct email and password, and I will click to login, and here you can see I am redirecting to the home page directly without in the login page. I have commented this thing that navigate to home page. Just I am setting the value in the Redux, and in the app.js it is checking that if user is null, then this logic navigate to this one and navigate to home page. This thing is executing from the here. So our this thing is completed, and one more thing is left for the login. So that is, like if user is logged in, then by refreshing it should not come to the login page. Like now it is happening. See, this time I am logged in, and if I am refreshing, then it is coming to the login page. And if I will try to go to the home page, then it will not go, because when I am refreshing the page, then the Redux value is setting to the initial state, that is null. That's why this thing is happening. So in the next video I will show you how you can prevent this thing, like whatever the data you will store in Redux, by refreshing it will not be reset, and the design of the home page like this one we will create in the next video. So that both thing we will see in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like and subscribe button.